about Yum Brands, just to quickly give some grounding. Exactly as Michael said, Yum Brands is a very large company. We're capitalized now at about 33 billion. We have 38,000 restaurants, operate in about 120 countries around the world. So very good, very successful business. For the historians, we were spun off from PepsiCo in 1997. We were then the fast food component of the PepsiCo group. We were spun off in our own right. And since 1997, we've had a fantastic run. We've delivered earnings per share performance of over 10% every year, literally since we spun off, which puts us in a very small elite group. The stock price has responded accordingly. The stock is, I think, 8 times what we spun off for in 1997. And so from a commercial, from a business standpoint, it's doing all the right things, and it's a fantastic story. The growth is extraordinary as we open up in all these countries around the world, and we continue to grow at this rapid rate that sees over 60% of our earnings now coming from outside of the United States and rapidly growing. That number will be 70%, I think, in a very short period of time. We do that by opening new restaurants, and at the moment our run rate is we are opening a new restaurant somewhere in the world every 5 hours. So we are opening a new restaurant every 5 hours. With that, we employ a lot of people, but with that comes a social responsibility and accountability. And so I guess the question is, big, strong, global organization, something that I think shareholders feel really good about. We're certainly doing all of the right things from a corporate business standpoint. The question is, how does that connect with corporate social responsibility? How do we feel within the company about what we're doing? And do we feel that we're contributing in a positive way? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. And while we're quite different in many respects from the companies that I had an opportunity to listen to both Tom and Sally earlier on, what they were both saying absolutely lives and breathes within the companies. Big companies need exactly the drivers that I was listening to in the entrepreneurial piece. So Tom was talking about passion and drive. And I'll tell you that big corporations die when they become bureaucracies. They're successful when there's a passion and a drive from the people within. And if the people don't passionately believe about the products and the connection with the people working around them, you fail. So having that passion is so important. And I loved what Sally said, that what's going on in corporate social responsibility now will be a defining moment. You'll either be on the wrong side or you'll be on the right side of what's going to occur in the next decade. And absolutely, I completely believe that. And I would tell you that all of my work colleagues have very quickly, over the last decade, I would say, migrated into that. And I'd say that as my final comment. I wouldn't have said 10 years ago that I was a greenie or felt that corporate social responsibility was at the top of my mind. And as I've spent time, I've started to understand more and more this fundamental rule, which is that being good in corporate social responsibility is not just about doing the right thing, but it's actually become doing good business. And my message is that if you're not following the corporate social responsibility agenda now, you will not be doing good business. In fact, your business will suffer. You will see profits and you will see sales growth suffer as a result of not doing that. Now, I like that analogy, feet of clay. You can't do everything overnight. You have to set out, have a clear strategy, clear sense of direction, and set out to do the right things. Now, here's the thing with food. I could give you a lot of examples about, we know that doing all of this is the right thing to do. There's no doubt in anyone in Yum's minds that this is the right thing to do. The question is, why is it good business? Well, I'll tell you, I'll start with the first one. Choice transparency. A group of 4 people goes out to eat. 2 or 3 of them say, hey, let's do KFC or let's do Taco Bell. One person says, nah, I don't feel, the food's a little bit indulgent. I don't feel like having an indulgent meal today. Making sure that a third of our menu can deliver products, or a chunk of our menu can deliver products that meet a third of your daily food allowance makes a huge difference. Making sure we have grilled alternatives. So I was very involved in KFC and the launch of Kentucky Grilled Chicken. I'll bet you don't know this, but you can eat 2 pieces of Kentucky Grilled Chicken, potato gravy, green beans, and that is 395 calories. Okay, so being able to diversify your menu and create choice in a way that enables someone within the group to say, yeah, the person who used to be each other group saying, no, that sounds great, let's go, because they've got something in there for me. So driving against a nutrition agenda and making sure that we're able to accommodate groups is good business, and at the same time it's doing the right thing. I'll talk about our people, and I'll pick one topic. So one thing about Yum is we're actually quite well known for one thing. We have this very crazy culture. We have this Yum recognition culture. And we have all these funky awards. So I love the box of chocolates analogy from Sally. This is so on the money. So one of the things we do is we all have funky awards. So I used to have an award when I was in Australia running the Australian business. I had Mission Impossible. And so we give out awards to everyone and anyone in the business at any opportunity we get. So I had this bronze cast iron bomb from the original Mission Impossible movies, and I'd stick a spark in and light the fuse. And it used to, and I'd play the in the background, have an enormous amount of fun, and use it to recognize people at every possible opportunity. Unfortunately, after 9/11, it was very difficult getting that through the X-ray machines in airports, so I had to ditch the bomb. But everyone has these fun awards and funky devices. We have rubber chickens, we have all sorts of crazy stuff, teeth, whatever. But the underlying principle to that is to build this culture where we believe that telling people, everyone in the organization, that they're incredibly important, and we recognize what they do and what they do well, is what really creates a core and a foundation. Now, you could say, oh, well, that's okay. Everyone says the culture does that. What's different? We have 1.4 million people working for us around the world. A lot of people who come to us, it is their very first job in life. It's incredibly important. We have very detailed training. The industry, in many respects, is vastly misunderstood. To work in our industry, to come and learn the systems and to learn how to operate these stores, you have to be very broad and very generalist. Now, in a lot of places in the world, the people who come and work for us for the first time have come from disadvantaged backgrounds. They don't have access to education like this. They don't have access to tertiary education. In many respects, some of them don't have access to the closing stages of high school education. So what we found is there are so many gems among this 1.4 million population of people who work for us, that we found that by starting to institutionalize how we train, and actually starting to build into that how you can get a degree, and starting to offer degrees to the extent, and this will blow you away, and if it doesn't, it should. KFC in the UK was just announced in 2011 one Employer of the Year. When would you ever believe, against every other company, can a fast food company win Employer of the Year? And we won it because of core values, because of recognition, getting the culture right, putting training systems in place, but most importantly, finding a way to give people an opportunity to go all the way to a degree within the system. Now, we understand that not everyone stays with us, but that's an important thing. People feel great in our company about the fact that we are training people, whether they stay with us or move on, to do something bigger and better and create an opportunity they never otherwise would have had.